The meaning of Yom Kippur is key, and part of that meaning is Lashon Tova, okay, may be good, but the meaning is merging of the heavens and the earth, of the world to come and this world, of the light of the world to come and this world. That's a key understanding. So we're going to do a little prayer activating that merge. Hashem Yiku Kedusha B'rihu Ushinate Bi'ilu or Ilu Laiha Chemuke B'vavke B'Yuda Shalom B'Shem Kozriel Kolam Amen. And so Hashem Hu Ha Elohim. So let's go with the very first principle. It's the light of the world to come merging with this world, filling this world with light. And in that process, changing where we've missed the mark, also known as sins, transforming them into light. That's the essence of it. And the beauty of it is this is the grace of God. That in doing this ceremony, aligning with the energies that are coming through what we call from the time of Adam and Hava or Eve, the energy of Libras that are coming in to bring us to this higher frequency. That's what it's about. So our ability to be transformed with this is how open we are to these higher frequencies of light. That's really that. So it's a day of at-one-ment as well as a day of atonement, depending at what level you take it. So that's the principle. It's so beautiful because it's directly between us and God. It's set each year that we, if we choose, can be redeemed of our missing the mark, of our head. What's needed? We have to be sincere about it. We have to really be committed to saying, okay, I see, and I choose not to do that anymore. So that's like, I would say, the most key principle in the whole thing. Now, there are other pieces that are going on, I'm going to say, are a little bit more esoteric, and that's the rebuilding of what we call the nefesh, or the life force, or some people may say chi, it's something like that. In times before the Torah was given, it's said in some of the ancient teachings that entities, beings, came to the planet to steal our nefesh, and because that's what they lived off. And we were losing it. And when we built the first temple, we built the second temple, the whole ceremony, part of it was to rebuild our nefesh. And that's part of the forces that destroyed the first temple and the second temple, because the forces of darkness could have unlimited access to nefesh. And in the ceremony on Yom Kippur with the goats, we make a confined offering to the dark side. We send the one goat out into the desert, and we are able to preserve our nefesh. Now, using those terms, the life force, we can understand this other level of Yom Kippur, that it's a ceremony when the heavens and earth merge, where our nefesh is rebuilt. And it's taught that when we're ready, the nefesh is so strong that the forces of darkness can't even get near it. And in essence, the nefesh is so strong and so pure that we have been imbued with that we're protected from the nefesh being stolen. And Yom Kippur is a way of living in the at-oneness where we're constantly rebuilding our nefesh throughout the year. Because we're committing to live in a way, through Torah study, to mitzvot or good deeds, and our focus on God, to continually replenish the nefesh. That's the good news. That's the eternal promise that's being kept. That we will never be forsaken. We will always be forgiven. It's a day of unconditional forgiveness if we are ready to receive it. That's very powerful. And you can see how that has worked in many, many levels. But just think that if you choose, if you are ready, we have a day of unconditional forgiveness. As long as you're willing to give up the habits that and actions that are creating missing the mark. So it's very, very profound. It's also based in a certain way, not of the original sin, but just the opposite. We are made in the image of God. And on Yom Kippur, well, I'll say it this way. We're made in the image of God, and our actions during the year, we tend to smudge that image of God up, make a cloudy mind and cloudy actions. But on Yom Kippur, we're given the unconditional promise that we can return to the original image of God. So in that way, we see that Yom Kippur is a day of liberation as well. A day of what we call medad, keneged medad. People know that term as karma, where that karma is greatly burned up. And we can proceed to evolve our lives. So it's very powerful. It's very powerful with this force of light, so much light coming onto the planet, that we are transformed into light if we so choose. We call the Or Haganus, the surrounding light. So this is the deeper meaning, a day of atonement, a day of at-one-ment, a day of being surrounded in what I'm going to call the cosmic mikvah of God's life, burning up all darkness that we carry with us. So we are immersing in this cosmic mikvah of God's life, of God's light, and we have a restart. So may everyone be blessed in this coming year, that we take advantage of being immersed in the cosmic mikvah of God's life and letting all our het or missing the marks be transformed into light, and choose to live in a way that we continue to build our nefesh, our light, and move into a day and a life of at-one-ment. Blessings to everyone, and may we be inspired to do this. This is really what we're talking about. May we be inspired to really go for it. So, blessings on Yom Kippur and Lashana Tova. And we're going to go into meditation now, because Torah, mitzvot, and meditation, as we learned from Rabbi Nachman and Yitzhak, meditating the fields is part of the way. So just focus on that cosmic light coming through me into you, and we repeat the name of God as grace, Yod, and then breath, Hey, on that breath, Wah, and then breath, Hey, on that breath. Yod from the base up to the heart, Hey out through the heart, Wah from the base to the third eye, and Hey out through the heart. So we'll now go into meditation and just feel the energy coming through, awakening that energy if you're ready, and activating it if it's already been awakened. We call it the Ruach HaKodesh. Now we go into meditation with the Yod, the first letter out of the nothing. Yod.